I love making videos for this channel. I also love playing Football Manager in my spare time. When those two things collide, we're in for something special. I'm going to do something different on the channel today, and as I've already hinted at, it's going to feature my old favourite game, Football Manager. But before that, I'm going to have to chat a little bit about subs, but I'm going to butter you up first. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about yourself, and then hopefully you can repay me for that information by subscribing to the channel. So I've been doing a bit of research into the followers, the subs, whatever you want to call them, of this channel, and this is what you guys and girls are like. The vast majority of you are men, 95% or so are men. So a special hello if you are a female viewer, great to have you on board. The age groups are very well split, so hello if you are any age at all. Over 80% of you are in Britain, and most crucially, a third of you are already subscribed to the channel. Now that number is on the up, but we want to get it above half, so if you're watching and are not yet subscribed, you know what to do. We have videos every single day. We do daft videos like this with just me and my camera and my mic. We have guests on the channel. Jackie McNamara chats does every single week. We get a couple of videos from Jackie. We have John, we have David, we have Ewan, we have numerous other guests on the channel. We've got someone new coming on the channel soon as well. We do interviews with the likes of Efrain Juarez, David Webb, people like that, loads of people, John Hughes as well. We've got really big plans for when the world goes back to some sort of normality and we can get to being back at pubs and that kind of thing. But we'll have more details in the future. But for now, if you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff that I've mentioned in the last minute or so, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny and it would really, really help me meet my targets. I know everyone always asks, why do you go on about it basically every video? I've got to make targets. And I also want to just draw attention to a young fella called Oren who messaged me privately on Twitter last week. Just to draw attention to Oren's site, I'm really fascinated by the work he's done. He's only 14 years old, and without sounding too patronising here, he started his own channel and has over 1,000 subs already. He's had the likes of Brian Rice, he's had Ian Crocker, the voice of Scottish football, on in the last few weeks. He does loads of other videos. I'm going to be part of his channel, I think, on Sunday, chatting all things Celtic. I still don't really know all the lingo with YouTube or how you find out about him, or if I can link it above. If I manage to link it above, I manage it, you'll know right now. But if not, you can get him, I think, just by searching YouTube for Football Prime Ginger. So this is Oren, he's 14 years old, brilliant channel, check that out. Today I take you to the hypothetical world where Dominic Mackay has just come in to Celtic. He's just appointed new manager and he's stripped the squad bare. He has got rid of every single player at Celtic and he's going to allow new manager to build the new squad. I need to stop bleeping the name out. The manager's me. So I'm signing up a squad of 22 players, I think, although I need to check that at the end to make sure that all adds up. First job in the game was to sell all the Celtic players that are currently part of the first team. Managed to sell virtually everyone, and I ended up having a transfer budget of £99 million to spend. Now I think 10 or 11 million was already in as a matter of fact after both Jeremy Frimpong and Hatem Abdelhamed had left the club in real life, so Football Manager includes that. But I managed to sell basically every member of the current Celtic first team. These are the kind of figures I got. Bit disappointed to only get 13 million for Odsonne Edouard and less than 8 million for Ajer, but I did get good prices for Lee Griffiths, Ryan Christie and Tom Rogic. Okay, so part one, we're going to sort 2 goalkeepers, 4 fullbacks, 2 on each side, and 4 centre-backs as well. So goalkeeper and defence, and then we're going to do part 2 later in the week when we're going to look at the rest of the team, and then I might even let you in on a wee secret into how the team actually got on. Okay, so after getting rid of all of those bomb scare goalkeepers that we currently have at the club, I managed to bring in 2. Obviously in real life you'd want more than 2, but I felt 2 was enough. First goalkeeper I brought in was Benjamin Siegrist from Dundee United for 1.2 million. Now you may notice a wee theme in building this team where I signed a lot of players who were based in Scotland. I just felt it was best that, given we'd lost all our Scottish players in the summer, to try and sign some players who know the league. I know Siegrist isn't Scottish, but as I say, he knows the league. So 1.2 million he cost. Real life, probably get him for cheaper than that, but I'm not really sure the situation with Dundee United. He's my backup goalkeeper though, my first choice goalkeeper. We know we love a loan, we've done that so many times over the years. I've gone for Jack Butland from Crystal Palace. Now in real life, Jack Butland hasn't actually played for Crystal Palace since the start of January. He is at least second choice. Their first choice is a goalkeeper called Gaeta. They've also got Wayne Hennessy. Less said about him the better at the club. So Butland is out of favour. So with this game and this challenge, I'm trying to make it realistic as possible. And I do firmly believe that every signing I've made in this challenge on these videos is doable for Celtic. So is Jack Butland a realistic choice for Celtic next season if we're going to bring in a goalkeeper? His wages in Football Manager meant I couldn't sign him, but as a loan signing, a stopgap, could that be an option? I certainly thought so in game. Right back, I went for Milan van Ewijk. Apologies if that's not been pronounced correctly. He's a player we've already been linked with in real life this year. That's the reason I went for him. He cost £4 million from ADO Den Haag, real attacking fullback, quite similar to Jeremy Frimpong in the way he plays. And I also signed Liam Palmer, the Scotland international. Again, if I'd had weeks and weeks to properly scout players in game, I could probably come up with a better option, but I just felt as a kind of backup fullback, Liam Palmer, £2 million he cost from Sheffield Wednesday, I kind of felt that did the job. Right, I'm going to jump all the way over to left back now, which is a strange way to do it. Josh Doig, really like him. He's the Hibs fullback, he's still a teenager. He's the guy that got absolutely roasted by the aforementioned Jeremy Frimpong back in September at Celtic Park. This is real life I'm talking. Jack Ross withdrew him at half time, but he's had a really good season for Hibs. He is their regular left back now, which for a teenager, I think he's 18 or 19, is a pretty good achievement. We've been linked in real life with him. I think Arsenal and Chelsea, from memory, were the other two teams that were linked. He cost me £4 million in game. Doubt he would cost that much in real life, but I don't think we'd get him too cheaply either. I feel Scottish teams are now able to demand slightly higher fees. I think he's a real top talent, this player, and in real life I would love to see us move for Josh Doig, but as a backup I don't think he could be a first choice right away, and that's what I've done in the game. For my first choice left back, I've gone for a player you may or may not know him, called Jonas Knudsen. He is 28 years old, and in real life he's a regular for Malmo, who won the Swedish league by 9 points. Knudsen has played for the Danish national team in the past. He's kind of in and out, shake it all about in that national setup. But they're a good side, as we've kind of already found out in Scotland's group. So I quite like the idea of that. I think Malmo are the kind of teams we should be looking at players from. Champions of their country, clearly a good side, but still a step up going to Celtic. So just mark the name, bookmark the name, Jonas Knudsen. And on to my centre-backs. I've signed 4. 2 of them based in Scotland. Any guesses straight away? Probably know one of them because I go on about them all the time. Ryan Porteous, £1.2 million. Again, I've raided Hibs. I've given Hibs over £5 million already. God, that's a lot of money for a club like that. But I've paid them it because I think that both Doig and to a lesser extent Ryan Porteous are massive future talents. Porteous will come in. He'll probably be the third out of the 4 centre-backs, slightly ahead of Declan Gallagher, who's another player I've bought in. I know there's a lot of, what would the right word be? A lot of unknown, I suppose, about Declan Gallagher. Could he handle the step up to Celtic? And to be honest, in real life, I'm not for making the move. But again, with the short time constraints I had in this game, trying to pick players in Scotland that I felt could add a bit of Scottishness to Celtic, I felt Declan Gallagher would do a job. He's a kind of stopgap signing, the 4th choice, backup cover, however you want to look at it. But he's still secured a dream move to Celtic in Football Manager. First choice wise, I've signed Ben Davies from Liverpool on loan. This is a player that you will well know that we came pretty close to signing in January. He seemed to be destined for a move up to Celtic from Preston North End before Liverpool jumped in. I got him on loan in game. I just wonder if Celtic will be able to do that in the summer, whether they'll be interested. It's one to watch, but we clearly liked him at the time. He's clearly a top talent. I mean, getting into the Liverpool defence is quite a tough thing to do, even when they're struggling. Could he still cut it at Celtic? I certainly think so. And my big marquee centre-back, I badly needed one with Ayer leaving, with Julian leaving. I needed a big name, and I splashed out £7 million for a defender called Anil Ahmedhodzic. Now, he's a regular for Bosnia and Herzegovina. He played 29 of Malmo's 30 league games in real life. He's 21 and is very highly rated. Now, I had to fight off a fair few teams in Football Manager. I think Spurs were interested, a few other sides. Again, I go back to the thing, if it's happening in Football Manager, chances are there's some sort of realism in real life. So hopefully this is another player Celtic have their eye on as a potential centre-back. Remember, Christopher Ayer's leaving. Why don't we get in another exciting young centre-back this summer? So this is what my goalkeepers and defence looks like. We will leave this for now. We'll pick it up in the next video, looking at the midfield and attack, and then I will let you in on how the team actually got on in the season. Take care, everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and we'll speak to you soon.